going on, dude? That's true, literally. Yeah, I've hit a new team up for a test spin in a game that doesn't matter. That's always good. Steal all you want. I'll just change them.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Bortles' Jaguars going up against Stafford's Browns. So let's get out to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Here's Brandon Guy and Charles Davis.
I actually read your name real quick, Neff. I thought it said Geddon. I almost laughed out loud.
Tonight it's a preseason matchup here in week 3 between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns.
Matthew Stafford is on the Browns. Wonder what dude is doing. Wow, an injury already?
Preseason game. We'll be right back. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. On second down, here's Morris. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They got 29 yards that time. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then it opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them.
I need to run more in the run and shoot. I'm shooting, not running, shooting.
They go play action here on first down. And complete on the right side. It's 10. It'll be a gain of 6. And it'll be a second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough. Just bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So the offense ready for a second and 4.
Oh, I didn't see him. Okay. You know what would be helpful? A zoomed out. I had to try different camera angles. I couldn't see. Let me try a zoomed out camera angle for a drive. Because if I can't see the hard flat on a bubble screen, that's going to happen. Yeah, I couldn't see. I saw the slot was uncovered, but I couldn't see the hard flat. This should be better. At least on offense, I would never play defense like this.
Sometimes it can break big.
The offense lining up first and 10.
That's too far out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. Second and 8. And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
I'm going to make a new one for this year. Fear not. Wow, this camera angle is so much better. I can see the wide flats.
62 yards. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up.
I want to finish my 3-4 guide first.
Able to have the to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
That'll happen, Bird. That'll happen quick because you realize how bad the stock playbooks are.
The starters for the Cleveland Browns. And let's discuss the tight end, Gary Barnidge. Sometimes he can get overlooked.
I love how he emerged in 2015. We had a scouting report on him that said he was a good blocker, dependable receiver, but no stardom at all. Had a 1,000-yard season in 2015. No longer do we have those shackles on him at all. Gary Barnidge can play. But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10.
I love the stock cover 2 playbook. So little clutter. Wait a minute, he has Stafford and Cutler? That's strange. Kind of counterproductive, no?
And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Dante Fowler just made a play that he can be really proud of there. Nice tackle for loss. And what a relief it is for him to be back on an NFL field after missing his entire rookie season with a knee injury.
I think the entire defensive unit is relieved that he's out there. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push him back more.
That he did. Good old Paul Puz.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. On 3rd down, Cutler. And he finds Barnes. He's got it. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow.
Well, here I'm just feeling things out. I play a lot of Tampa 2, of course.
They like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" charge. Keep it together.
They really do.
Or I play a Tampa 2 style, rather.
He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
On the give, this is their fullback. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Now that's the defense that they're looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball.
But a game like this, I'm going to try different things and just see how my players react and play.
On 2nd down, here's Cutler. He's got time in the pocket.
Look, I didn't pick that off. Will Hill is fast. I like that.
And time to take up with the Jaguar defense.
Will Hill's a name that I remember even when he was in high school. He was that good. Many talked about him being the next coming. He's fulfilled his promise and made it to the NFL.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. From the gun on third down, it's Cutler.
No, he just had the heat when he got Dante Fowler and Malik Jackson coming in like that.
Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build on the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like
not that many.
Right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go around. First and 10. Here's Bortles.
Yeah, I like this camera view for offense. What's up, BJ?
He got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and it curls back inside for the completion.
On first down, this is a record. Credit to the 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis.
Alrighty. Time to take the starters out. Injuries are on, so I don't want anybody getting hurt.
number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
There's one kind of compressed set. Flanker close. One side of it's compressed. Thank you, sir. You too.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in the second quarter. They'll come out in the pistol. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw.
Threw that too soon. That out route's got tricky timing.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Basically, the reason why I like it is that there's not a lot of clutter. You've got nickel, you have dime, you have quarters, 4-3, normal, over, under, and that's it. I give him one more year, Travis. He's got to win next year. No, Nickel Strong's no longer there.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players,
neither does Dime Flat.
Care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is TJ Yeldon. And he'll take this one down to about the 40.
On offense, the guys that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterbacks. You can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker. And on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
That was weird.
A nice gain of 21 yards.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering it.
Back when I was in high school. I know what you're saying.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Yeldon, the lone running back. And there's 1 or 2 in here. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down to 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The defense won that.
Yeah, he's not having a good year, Travis. I'm going to have to do a video of my thoughts on it. A lot of things went wrong, and he did not have a good coaching year at all.
play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter is starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And his pass caught at the 4. And he'll take this.
Jeez, Mark. Why are my receivers fucking guys in the back?
So let's see what this is about.
Knock it off, dudes. I think offensively Notre Dame got away from what they are. And defensively, I was never a big fan of Brian Van Gorder at all. Yeah. Not only that, they haven't had quality defensive backs in a long time. Not since Harrison Smith. The talent of the defensive backfield is not good at all.
Defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense, but in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job.
The problem with Brian Van Gorder is a problem that a lot of NFL guys have when they come to the college ranks, is that they have this burning desire to show off how smart they are. What they end up doing is making things too complicated for the players. He could never streamline his scheme enough to where the talent could run it. So they were coached badly, and the talent wasn't there either. Max Redfield never really developed. Cole Luke was never really developed. Kavara Russell was okay when he was there. The defensive backfield has been a nightmare for a good 3 years now.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And they'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back.
Offensively, I think they got away from what he established. I think Brian Kelly was afraid of the quarterbacks transferring. So he got a little bit away from the strength of the team, which is their backs and their offensive line. They got thin on the defensive line. But on offense, they have 2 offensive linemen that are going to be possibly first-round NFL draft picks. They have good backs. St. Brown's a good receiver, freshman receiver. He looks really good. But the thing they were missing on offense was, I think, sticking to what their identity has been the past few years, which is power spread, running the ball downhill and taking shots downfield. And they were also missing that real, NFL-style tight end that they've had for such a long time. There's no Kyle Rudolph or Tyler Eifert, John Carlson. The tight ends either got hurt or transferred.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it will change for as long as we play football.
One of the tight ends transferred to Ohio State, oddly enough.
That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. It's a 4-receiver look to the right side. 2nd and 10. It's Keller again. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily,
All right, hold your breath here.
They get the completed pass, but still have more to go
With cover 4. Cover 4 is a friggin' nightmare this year.
On third down, Cutler. He's got time. It's caught. Inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown.
Primetime 615.
Touchdown on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead.
I got caught yapping to you fine people.
There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it's beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed once you come off the line of scrimmage. And maybe it's a little bit slower.
Yeah, Donald is Donald.
Back and then explode and go, as we saw there.
And the Jaguars getting set to go. And it's up to win games if you're going field goal. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Look for the big chunk now, because as you noted, the field goal, and way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chance. We'll see if they can get the score. And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, look at that. A diving catch. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
It's just
Comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. One receiver left, 3 to the right. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And a catch made here on Marquise Lee.
seems to enjoy keeping linebackers on the field. At least I'm able to spread them out a little bit.
So after that big game, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
I'm actually surprised that Donald's been as much as an adult as he has been post-election. I was expecting him to be much more of his, egomaniacal self. But he's actually kind of kept himself in check and has been kind of quiet.
Really good, solid run right there. And they did it from a 4-wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options, and also usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against.
Completes it to Lee. And a stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it 2nd down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
I think there's a pretty good chance that Donald could get thrown out of office midway through his first term. But I think we'll survive. I think a lot of the, fear-mongering is overblown. I don't think we're going to get some, race war starting anytime soon. We've survived bad presidents before. We'll survive bad presidents again.
And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Wow, holy run commit.
T.J. Yeldon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are back within a score.
Thank everyone in the league.
The thing that worries me the most, to be honest, is that, his grandiose promises and his grandiose speech has resulted in him definitely attracting, a fringe white supremacist element of society that's become more vocal than we've seen them in quite some time. And my biggest fear is that when the realities of what he can and cannot do become clear, I mean, he's not building a wall. He's not going to throw Hillary Clinton in jail. He's not going to be able to do a lot of the things that he hyped himself as being able to do. I'm afraid of a Timothy McVeigh type or a Dylan Roof type going off and doing something crazy. That's my biggest fear with the Donald Trump presidency. I don't know. I mean, I can see Donald getting crazy and doing Donald things and getting himself impeached, certainly. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Not in the least. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'd agree with that. There we go.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
True indeed. Trust no one. Question everything.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a down 6 DBs. Now Cutler looking to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and they've named the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Here's Matt Garr now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And from this spot on the field, where it's at, I think we're just going to see a knee, and that's it.
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we approach halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you out of Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, LR. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3.
Alrighty. Let's focus on trying to win the game now in the second half. Actually, this playbook has a 4-6, not a 4-4 split.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay, but in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit it a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Hey, DJ, what's going on, man?
80 yards on the pickup, now have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
All right. Now what I want is to get this game over with no injuries and win the game. Let's see if we can have both.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's James. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get...
I'm not into that stuff. That's Alex Jones, conspiracy theorist type of stuff.
And throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Second down following the run. Off the play fake. Here's Cutler. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete there. Nice hit. Jarvis.
Amazing how much tighter the seam post is covered when you're using it.
They went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. On 3rd down, Cutler. Is incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover.
Wouldn't surprise me, DJ.
So quick, but able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football. That's why he was able to bat it away.
Terrible kick headed straight for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. A look at the offense now here coming back out.
But like you said, I don't want to think about that right now. Let's have some peace.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, right? And I think we would see up on the goose boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense.
Little Green's not going to win those.
Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Yeldon. Good hands there, buddy.
So many offense running through their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out and check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Oh, pretty much echoing my thoughts, DJ. See, the fact that he ran 4-6 cover 2 invert against that and thought that was a good idea tells you one of the main things wrong with one of the main flaws in this game.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. They're out in front. Last time they had a punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
On the ground, it's James. And he will find his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
On 2nd down, it's Drake.
Sit down.
Back at the 21-yard line. And they'll get a timeout. Looks like they're going to Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back.
Well, hope that wasn't serious.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the down here.
Covering a lot of field.
Now Cutler. He's got time in the pocket. This is taken in. It's complete. And it goes for it.
That should not happen against three match. I'm pretty sure I called free match there. What did I call buzz match? I think I may have called buzz. Oh, great.
Gain of 31. So the offense has it first and 10. No run now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 45-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle. There wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blow. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. James. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 3rd and 1, it's Cutler. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 down the pick, but that's enough.
You know what? I don't think underneath and protect the sticks work with hook zones.
That's what he's there for, right?
This year.
Now running now out of the gun. And he's going to find his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end of the half situations that you're worried about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try to catch you.
A good gain of 14 there, it moves the chains.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team.
Well, the hook zone should drop back shallower when you're playing underneath. That'd be logical, but I don't believe that happens.
Again to the fullback on the dive. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body, getting to him before he can get started.
Now they'll look to throw it with Cutler. And that is incomplete.
Well, that was senseless.
Here, this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver.
That's a preseason game, dude. Winning is not important.
Before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference.
You probably could. I don't run quick slants enough, to tell you the truth.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes this one in from last score. Michael Williams taking it in from a yard and out. squeeze him after the touchdown to kick this one off. Now the return, Rashad Breed. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists in their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And Breed with a catch left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before
Another injury? Really? Come on. I hope the injuries ladder isn't that something stupid.
Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. One receiver left, three to the right. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Cover 2 invert versus 4 wide. Just the dumbest thing ever.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
When we talked about it,
They like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree, getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue.
Oh, that was a mess. Yeah, it did.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws.
I can see it better when it's zoomed out like that.
You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Well, it should stress it wide pretty badly.
But a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth.
It should be an easy high-low between the flat and the out behind it.
This is third down. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Going for the deep ball. It's caught at the 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career NFL touchdown.
Jeez.
The Jaguars have come back with a score.
Let's try the zone readout.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll run the option left.
Yep, Chad Henne's not exactly fleet of foot now, is he?
Stepped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken at his 4. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now the Browns offense trots back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on it, maybe mix it up a little bit, a little play action.
It's clearly not Ultimate Team.
That balance, time to find out. They run to James. They find some open field here. Give him 18 on that.
You either don't know how to read, or you're just being a dope looking for attention. One of the two.
Successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they're going to keep that going. They'll continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there? And that's run the football. I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, But I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down.
Hey, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, kiddo.
Team on defense.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13.
Now enjoy your time in the timeout corner.
Really good run. We really tend to focus on what other people did in order for that run to happen. What the offensive line did, what the receivers did to help. Sometimes the running back's pretty good too. And on that play, he picked up a lot of good yardage and made it happen with great effort.
So the first down here after the run. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff here to his running back. And some room to roll now. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. There's a gain of 24 that time. And that'll be good for Cleveland first. And now the offense operates in the red zone.
I have zero tolerance for stupid people. Nil.
Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there. First down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a first and goal.
But not a lot of flash and dash on that play. Second and 2, and they hand it to the big man. And he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though. But I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
On first and goal, Dre. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Got a lot of tired people out there.
Fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loaded in the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And they'll try the ground game here with a running back. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They got it down to the 3, but now this is third and goal. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. Down to 2 remaining.
My goodness. Not good. Don't need to be sneezing. Or coming down with anything on a holiday weekend. That wouldn't be good at all.
The 3-yard line once more. Here's here in the eye. Both the run and pass still in play here on third and goal from the 3. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
Susan will get this one to go. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You're able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern there because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They know their game plan is well in effect.
My goodness.
And what plays they want to put together.
I'm coughing, I'm hiccuping, I'm sneezing.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. When he goes after the football.
Yeah, I gotta get the timing on this route down.
When it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Look at this. Base of line 4-6. And there's no room to throw the football. That is just dumb. What an idiot. And the fact that this game allowed people to get away with that. Stupid. Shows that you don't have any brain whatsoever other than what Madden allows you to do.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Henning. Time for a break. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And the defense lines up looking for one final stop.
And they will be playing for the pass in this situation, not expecting any type of a run.
Back to throw. Somebody can't get a throw.
I swear, the way these backs block on the edge. You block the back to that side, and that's what happens. Can't say that I have, DJ.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 27 yards.
That's one deep out route.
Somehow they're able to keep the drive going. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to throw. And incomplete. Top there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring him second down. Offense walks to the line for play.
The fact that someone thinks that this is even feasible just irritates me.
He looked to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular.
Wow, a spec catch came down, was completed.
3 yards on the play.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like they're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that.
You think I'm in a grumpy mood, you'd be correct.
One-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. Second down. And on 2nd and 10 now. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon.
Go Yeldon.
Before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
A pick up a 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in.
Let's get a TO.
Get this back to the 4, but that's about all. And they lose a yard that time. That's going to lead to a third down. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's third and goal. He's back to throw. And a crusher there as it's intercepted.
Through a high pass. Not high enough, apparently.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
He's bringing it up to
Right.
score.
Oh, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? One gets past the catcher, he uncorks a wild one, and now you still have an opportunity. That's why they like to use them all the way through.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not in the preview. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
I hope I play him in the regular season because I'll beat him like a drum. But anyhow, let's go check out my injuries. Yay! What is my regular season schedule anyway? Open up against the Rams. Yeah, I do play him in regular season. I'm going to make it a point to savagely roast him and make his experience as miserable as humanly possible. Anyhow, I'll be back a little bit later. Got another league game going on tonight. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.